Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone today? Hello. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. What the hell is going on with my Streamlabs? It is crapped out. Alright, now it's working again. I swear, sometimes I do absolutely nothing. I come back and things are all screwed up. But it's all good. We got it working again. Alright, everyone. Hello, hello. And welcome. Welcome to a brand new streaming week, everyone. I hope you guys are primed and ready for what is definitely leading up to be a very exciting week of streams here today. Today is my first day of the consecutive streaming week, meaning 6 straight days of streams for you. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of December, 2020, and I am Darkside Phil, and welcome, welcome. First of all, I hope you all had a great day away yesterday. As you know, Tuesdays are usually my day off these days. That may change in the future, but for now, that is very much the case. And I had a pretty good day. Let me talk about that before we even get into anything stream or gaming related, so you guys can have your questions satiated. Your burning inquisitions must be answered right here live on the stream, okay? So what did I do yesterday? A lot of stuff. Grocery shopping, and I am pleased that the panic that hit us about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, when the restrictions for COVID went back into effect here in Washington State, have not really affected shopping that much. There's still very limited quantities of certain things, but usually it's just paper products. And even then, usually they have stuff. It's just like not a wide selection. I still go in the morning. Like, I used to actually go grocery shopping late at night. Like, it would be the last thing that my wife and I would do on a day out, is we would go grocery shopping on the way home. That has completely changed this year. Now I go in the mornings before we even do anything else. That's the first thing I do. But outside of that, everything seems to be going all right with that. And I was actually told yesterday morning by the person, checking me out, you can now use reusable shopping bags again for the first time in like 8-9 months, that they're now allowed back into the stores, because back in March they banned them. They said no reusable bags because of COVID. Well, now again, you can apparently use them again. Very exciting stuff. So anyway, that was very good stuff, right? I'm sure you guys really cared about that. Then we had a lot to do. We had to go get our hair cut. So I got a nice trim today. Very nice, because this last, almost a month now, I've been playing on the PS5, these new headphones, and having nicely trimmed hair around the ears now is going to help to make this feel a lot more comfortable, that's for sure. So, good stuff there. And, we were out and about doing stuff. We had to get some pet supplies for Jasper. We had to do some other things. We were actually looking for slippers, because what I want for Christmas is a new pair of slippers for my wife. I said, my slippers are completely worn out. I bought them about a year ago. I would like some new slippers for the house. And she's like, okay, well, let's go to Kohl's. I actually have, I guess she had some kind of discount or something there at Kohl's. I don't know. I guess she signed up for the program, the Kohl's membership program. You can get some money off or whatever. We go to Kohl's. Kohl's did not have any men's slippers. They had about 4 aisles of women's slippers. And they had no slippers for men. 0. What? It's the holidays. Slippers are a very popular Christmas gift for men. They didn't have any. The fuck? I was very upset. That was my day. I was very upset at not being able to get slippers. Okay? So anyway, let's see. Outside of that, I guess the one thing that's pertinent to the streams, because people always ask what I do on my day off, so I'm actually telling you now, and people are like, wow, this is boring. Like, yeah, usually what I do on my day off has nothing to do with my streams, so I don't know why people constantly ask me what I do on my day off, but here you go. You're getting the actual explanation this week. Okay? So, what I would say is, the one thing that was pertinent that we did yesterday is I found 2 different things that I'm going to be doing for DSP Tries It during my upcoming holiday marathon event, which is happening in exactly 2 weeks from today. That is correct. In exactly 2 weeks from today, it is my Christmas marathon event, where I'll be dressing up in holiday attire, drinking, playing a variety of games, and celebrating with all of you. And yes, there will be a live DSP Tries It and I got two things. One of these things is actually traditional Christmassy, but it's something that I have never ever tried before. So I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. Okay. The other thing is not at all. All right. So I'm just gonna say that one thing is very Christmas themed, and the other is not. But nevertheless, I feel that you guys will still like these items that I've selected for a live DSP Tries It during the Christmas Marathon event. All right, I'm very pleased with what I came up with. And by the way, in part to my wife, because my wife has a keen eye and was actually looking around at stuff and was like, what about this? What about this? I'm like, oh, wait, that's a good idea. So, got to give a shout out to Kat, who actually helped me pick this stuff out. Okay. Now outside of that, I'm also looking to maybe get some Christmas themed brews, beers and the like. I've done this many times before. Don't have anything yet. Didn't have a chance because we were going to go to the liquor store, but it ended up being so late. See, our day yesterday was thrown out of whack because, well, number one, you can't eat in a restaurant anymore. It's not possible here in Washington State. You have to order food and get it delivered. So basically, I went and got groceries in the morning while my wife was getting ready. After the groceries, I put them away and everything, chopped the veggies, got everything prepped. I was like, okay, we're hungry. We ordered food. It actually took a little bit longer to get the food than we had hoped. Then we had to rush to our haircut appointment to make it. We almost didn't make it. And by the time that all that was done, it was almost like 3 p.m. They're like, damn, well, the stores around here, they don't stay open super late because of COVID. So we ended up having to kind of rush around. And by the time it was the end of the day, it was like, we're too tired. We don't want to do it. So probably next week, I'll be looking, like, maybe go to a liquor store and see if they have any, like, holiday-themed beer or whatever that I can drink during the Christmas event. All right, but the good news is, got something good, a couple good things for DSP Tries It for the Christmas event. So that's a lock, and I'm excited that we got that done early, so I'm not rushing to try to figure something out. And by the way, I will confirm it's not fast food. Okay, it's not. It's not fast food. For once, on DSP Tries It, I'm not doing a fast food DSP Tries It. So it'll actually have some variety. Because some people complain that every time I do DSP Tries It, it's almost always fast food. Well, it's not this time. Okay? So that's a good thing. Alright, so that was my day yesterday. I'm back today. And I'm excited to be back today. Because this week is going to be very interesting. For multiple reasons, I'm sure. But today, we are resuming playthroughs that I've been working on, for several weeks. And wrapping a game up later tonight, which is pretty good. And, of course, this is all building to the Cyberpunk release tomorrow, which everyone is super excited for. Some people are already asking me about when am I playing it and why aren't I playing it today? And don't worry, I'll talk about it. It's fine. We'll talk about it. Okay. So, yes, a very exciting week. Of course, the Game Awards are tomorrow, which I really don't care about at all. Right? But I've been talking about them recently for the controversies around it. But I'm just glad that it's kind of resolved. In fact, I'll just get this out of the way now. So the fan voting happened. And when I mean fan voting, I mean actual people who play games and buy them and are able to commonly vote on the internet rather than just a selected group of journalists and industry insiders, which Jeff Keighley calls the jury. And apparently they're the people who are smarter than us and they get to determine the real game of the year. Yeah, right. Well, the common gamers have spoken. Ghost of Tsushima is the best game of 2020. And I'm pleased with that because Ghost of Tsushima was, for the greater part of this year, my favorite game of the year. At this point, I can't tell you if it will be or not by the end of the year because I'm still in the midst of many different playthroughs. I just finished Demon's Souls, which I very much liked. Spider-Man Miles Morales was pretty good. Bugsnax, I absolutely loved. So that's definitely way up there in my estimation for games this year. I'm serious about that, too. People keep saying, is that a joke? No. Like, Bugsnax, I seriously enjoyed way more than I thought I would. A game is way better than it has any right to be. It's so effing good. People need to be playing Bugsnax immediately. Anyone who didn't play it, you really missed out. And I'm not joking. People think I'm joking. I'm not memeing or joking. It's that good. But anyway... I'm pleased that Ghost of Tsushima was recognized by the actual common gamers, not an elitist group, as the best game of this year. And that's where I'm just going to leave it at that. Will it be my actual game of the year? You'll find out later, because as you know, it's typically very early January. I do my Game of the Year award / most disappointing Game of the Year countdowns right here live on stream. This year will be no different. Just the timing I'm not sure of yet. I'm not sure if it'll actually be like the very end of December that I want to do it, or if it'll end up being early January. But it's going to happen. I'm excited for that. I love doing those events, and I hope you guys will join me for those when I do them. I'll give you more information after the Christmas event, essentially. You have to figure, let's do the Christmas stuff, and after Christmas is over, then I'll figure out when to schedule those in. Okay? Very good. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, good stuff. Let's now talk about the schedule this week. And, of course, this will allow me to discuss Cyberpunk, which everyone wants to know my opinion on. And then I got to talk a little bit about update on Halo Infinite that I want to talk about. And that's really about it. I don't think there's too much else to discuss. Just those two things. So, anyway, schedule. Today, we're continuing on with Yakuza 7 here on the main stream, which I'm excited for. Yakuza 7 has actually, in my opinion, gotten much better the last couple of streams since we've been able to start unlocking job classes for our party. And I just got 2 new jobs, the Chef and the Enforcer, and we're trying those out. As we progress with the story, I was in the midst of doing tons of side content that opened up in the city of Ichinjo. I have to remember it's called Ichinjo because it's not Kamurocho anymore, right? It's not Kamurocho. I have to remember that because I played so many Yakuza games where we were in Kamurocho, and this is a different city of Ichinjo. But it's been great. I hope you guys have enjoyed the playthrough. Everyone who has actually tuned into the streams has told me that they're absolutely loving the Yakuza 7 playthrough. Of course, when I'm playing an RPG like this, that's not my mainstream audience. That's a group of my audience who like to come and hang out with me when I play RPGs, but it's not my mainstream audience who will watch me play big AAA releases and other games. And I get that, okay? So I just want to say thanks to those of you who are here for the Yakuza 7 playthrough. As you guys know, this game is going to be incredibly long. We've been playing it for over 3 weeks, and I'm still going to be playing it probably for another month or more, depending on how other things go. So, we're in for the long haul here, but it's a great game, and that's the good thing. Outside of maybe a very, 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 very strong accentuation on sexual content in this game, because they are basically exposing kind of the underbelly of Japanese society, the businesses that are basically considered seedy businesses, like the soap lands and the like. Outside of that focus of content, which can be a little bit overbearing, outside of that, the game is quite funny and fun, and I'm really having a good time with it. So I hope you guys are as well, and I'm looking forward to a major stream of that right now. I actually don't know what's in store for us. I don't know if we'll be doing more side content. I don't know if we'll be advancing the story today. It all depends. We'll find out live, okay? Now, later tonight, the late stream is going to be the conclusion of Twin Mirror, the narrative-based game from Don't Nod Entertainment. My first 2 streams of this game were pretty entertaining. I'd say it had a slow start, but once we got into the murder mystery aspect of the game, it's gotten better and better. And at the very end of the stream on Sunday night, we made a critical decision to ditch the alternate personality or persona, or whatever you want to call it, that was inside of the protagonist's head. And instead, for the rest of the game, we're going to rely solely on logic, i.e. the mind palace, that you use to solve puzzles. Now, I don't know how significantly this is going to change the rest of the game. People were telling me it was 7 to 8 hours long. I've played it now for over 6 hours. So if what people told me about the length of the game is true, we should beat it tonight on the late stream. If what people told me is horseshit, which frequently happens, they always say a game is shorter than it is, then maybe we'll be playing another late night stream. But tonight, we'll see how it goes. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, Twin Mirror continuing and maybe concluding. I'm hoping it concludes, but if it doesn't conclude, it's fine. Okay? Now, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, the 10th of December is a big day because it is the final release, finally, of Cyberpunk 2077. All right, people have been waiting for this forever. Game has been delayed a bajillion times. Personally, I have done everything in my power to avoid major spoilers about this game, and I have stayed away from major media coverage of it. I have not seen any live gameplay of the game whatsoever outside of what we saw at trailers from, various E3s and press events and stuff. I really tried to isolate myself from the content of the game, so that way when I play it, it's really me playing it cold. And I at this point, I'm still successful. All right, which is crazy good. All right. So I'm excited to play this all day long tomorrow. My first and second streams will be Cyberpunk 2077 tomorrow on Thursday. All right. And then tomorrow, excuse me, I'm so stupid. Friday, I'll be playing it again as the major stream. All right. Friday night, it's either going to be more Twin Mirror to finish it up, or if we did finish Twin Mirror tonight, then I have the option to choose what the heck I want to do. Likely it'll be Assassin's Creed Valhalla, since I have not played that in a bit. And I do want to continue with that playthrough and not have it be on the back burner forever. So probably maybe that would be like Friday night. Saturday, we have the option to play more Cyberpunk. Or if you guys want it to be variety and go back to Yakuza, we could do that on Saturday. So we'll see. Same thing with Saturday night. I again have the option to do some variety. I'm actually leaning towards doing some Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. By the way, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War got a big patch yesterday when I wasn't here. And apparently the game now is supposed to be way more stable. And the rumor is that within a week, they're supposed to be launching a new season of the game. And apparently it might add a new map. Now, I haven't confirmed that. But I saw a picture of it online. They're saying it's supposed to be like a shopping mall from the 1980s. In which case, I think that would be a pretty awesome map. But I haven't confirmed that. I just, it was a rumor that I saw on the internet. I don't know if it's true or not. But that sounds really cool. If that is the case, I don't know. Maybe not be the case. I didn't get the full deets on that. All right. What I'm just hoping is that it runs better, because sadly we were having a lot of problems as we played this game. Now that my thumbstick isn't malfunctioning anymore, okay, I've been able to focus in a lot more on the functionality of this game in multiplayer, and the game is fun as hell, except for when you get into a crazy fight in multiplayer. Then sadly, it chops up a lot. Like, I'm noticing this more and more. Every time you get into chaotic combat, the game frame rate just dips, and sometimes the game just straight up freezes. And it's like, how am I supposed to maintain my shot? How am I supposed to kill people when the game's constantly freezing like that in combat? That's not good for a game that's running on next gen. It's supposed to be a smooth 60 frames, and it becomes like 10 frames during combat. So apparently they're supposed to fix that. So I guess we'll see what happens, but hopefully it runs better. We'll see. They did patch it. I'm thinking of probably playing it like Saturday night. And then what we're going to do this weekend after that, with, you know, Sunday, Monday, whatever you guys want. You want more Cyberpunk? I'll play more Cyberpunk. You actually want more Yakuza? We'll do more Yakuza. I am going to break it up, though. I'm not going to play Cyberpunk every single day. There's going to be a point, you know, when we get to like Saturday, Sunday, where I'm going to say, all right, we played a lot of Cyberpunk. Let's take a break for Yakuza. And then we'll go back to Cyberpunk, okay? And the night streams will be a combination. It'll either be Assassin's Creed or Black Ops Cold War, or if time permits, which I am hoping it will, I'm planning on doing the post-game stream of Bug Snacks at some point on a late-night stream this weekend, all right? Now you might say, Bug Snacks, didn't you beat that? Well, yes, I did. However, I missed out on certain content, certain missions I didn't realize were ready to go. They weren't, you know, and I went to the end of the game not realizing it. I missed out on one of the big legendary Bug Snack boss fights that's in the game, and I want to do it. And I want to see if I can, you know, do as many of the challenges, complete all the character missions, and even maybe platinum the game. The game was that much fun to me that I actually want to go back for like a late night session and see if we can do everything and wrap everything up. Okay? So that's coming. I don't know when. It could be this weekend at one of the nights. I'm just throwing that out there because that could be good variety for a night stream, I feel. So, Cyberpunk starting tomorrow, all right, all day. And then Cyberpunk on the main streams, alternating with Yakuza a bit there for variety. Late night streams will be Assassin's Creed or Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, or maybe a late night stream of Bug Snacks, okay? That is what I am planning. So, I hope that sounds good to you guys for the coming week. Should take us into, you know, the upcoming holidays and everything. So, good stuff. All right. All righty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a few quick things before we get to the news that I want to talk about today. First of all, I've already mentioned the Christmas event. It's 2 weeks from today. All right. You still have opportunity to nominate games for that upcoming Christmas event that you would like to see me play by typing !Christmas into the stream chat, or just waiting every 20 minutes or so. The link will pop up automatically where you'll be able to nominate games. I hope you'll do that for the event. Now, during this event, I'm already going to be playing certain games. I said Black Ops Cold War, seems like a good thing to play since it's a multiplayer game I'm actually into this year for the first time in a long time. And I also want to go back and play some Fall Guys, which I've not played now in a long time. And apparently they're actually going to launch their big winter update soon, which is going to add new stages and a penguin outfit and all kinds of stuff. So, being that I've been away from the game for a while, it may be pretty interesting to see what they've changed for the Christmas event, okay? So, I'm going to do those, but then the other games I'm going to pick from your nominations. So, please nominate games, and I'll be giving a look to that probably within the next week to see what you guys have been nominating so far. And hopefully you guys nominated some Christmas-themed stuff. I don't know what's available out there gameplay-wise for Christmas stuff. I would definitely like to have some Christmas-themed stuff on the Christmas stream if possible, but I guess we'll see. Okay? Good stuff? Okay. Also, Ask the King, my Q&A show, is going to happen on a Christmas Eve as a special event, holiday-themed. I'm sure you guys will have questions about Christmas and stuff like that to ask me. But at the same time, obviously, you know, everything's fair game like usual. Please post up your questions for Ask the King. You can do that by typing !Ask the King into the stream chat, or again, every 20 minutes or so, a link will pop up. You can click on it and ask those questions. The more questions I get, the better the show will be, and that is the only thing that I'm doing on Christmas Eve. So please post up, and I'm excited for that. You know, Christmas Day I'll have off, but then I'll be back to full streaming capacity the day after Christmas. Okay? Good stuff. Very good stuff. All right. Alrighty, guys. So that's really it for my schedule and everything. Let's talk gaming news. All right, first of all, the first piece of news I want to talk about, Halo Infinite kind of sneaked information out yesterday under the radar until a few people started catching wind of it. And we're like, wait, what? So Halo Infinite, the developers, 343 Studios, or 343 Industries, have decided that starting now, they're going to start giving updates, regular updates to the public about the development of Halo Infinite. All right? And they had some screens they put out of the game yesterday showing that the graphics have greatly improved since the last time we saw it a few months ago in that gameplay presentation that looked laughably bad in last gen. And basically what they're saying is this game is coming out in the fall of 2021. At least that's what they're aiming for. Okay? So the first reaction I have to that is, okay, great. That means they're going to take about a year to work on this game based on what we saw, you know, in the, what was it, the summertime or early fall, whenever it was. This is good because the game definitely looked very rough around the edges. It just looked like an Xbox 360 game at parts. Like, so I'm very happy that they're taking the time to put in development time to work on it. And, you know, this is a good thing. It's a good thing when a game developer realizes the game is not ready. We need to work more on it to make it a good product so when you buy it, it's worth playing. Because, man, imagine if this game had come out with the launch of the Xbox Series S and X, you know, almost a month ago, and how it would have looked. To which, it leads to the second part of my comment. What the hell were they thinking saying they were going to release this as a launch title? You know what I mean? Like, they were talking about this right up until, like, a week before the Xbox Series X and S and X, that they were going to be releasing this with the console. And in fact, Phil Spencer at points had talked about, oh, well, there was discussion that they were just going to release the campaign, the multiplayer would come later. What? Halo, a game that is synonymous with competitive multiplayer, was not going to have multiplayer at launch? Like, what are you talking about? You know? What this tells me is this game was nowhere near ready for launch with the Xbox Series S and X. This was like not even close. And they were just being so ridiculously over-optimistic about the speed this game, the speed that this game would take to be developed and be pushed out. I'm kind of happy the way things worked out the way they did. Because if they had not chosen to put out that gameplay of the game, and what was it? I can't remember if it was August or September. I think it was September, early September. If they hadn't done that, all right, they might have actually released this thing with the Xbox Series S and X. And I'm sorry, but yikes. If you're trying to show off your new next-gen console, and if that was going to be the graphical display they were going to give, I mean, that could have actually tanked stuff. You know what I mean? And for all the people who work hard on this shit, to have an entire launch of a console ruined because you rushed a game out that was not ready and you said that was the flagship game for your console and it would have been a laughing stock, that would have been very disappointing to so many people who were working on this thing, you know? And I don't know what the hell Microsoft was thinking, but at least the right thing happened. The game got delayed, thank God. All right, and now with a year, an extra year to develop this game. All right, I am hoping it turns out really well. I would love nothing more than to be playing Halo in 60 frames per second next year on an Xbox Series X, which, by the way, here's hoping by next fall the Xbox Series X is readily available and you can buy it. Because holy shit, the way that these consoles are going, there's just no way to get them right now. And I would love an Xbox Series X, except I wouldn't be playing anything on it right now because there's no games for it. But, you know, eventually there's going to be. And I would love to be playing Halo next year. You know, especially because Halo not only has a epic, you know, cinematic campaign, but also has very competitive multiplayer. Sometimes hit or miss. Sometimes I've liked the multiplayer of Halo. Sometimes I've absolutely hated it. Being that it's 343 Industries making this game and not Bungie, you know, it's hit or miss. It could be great and it could be absolute shit. I guess we're going to see what happens. But again, another year of development. This is a good thing for a game like this. Hopefully it will turn out very well next year and be a big win for Microsoft. Okay, so this was great news in my opinion. It was not bad news. This just kind of makes your jaw drop. Like they were actually going to try to release it last month. Wow. They needed an extra year of development and they were going to release it last month. I mean, if anything, this gaming landscape these days, of the pattern of rolling that we're the beta testers, we're the consumers, but we're also the beta testers. Because when you buy the game at launch, it's not even done. And then it takes these companies a year to fix the game, you know. Look at games like Rainbow Six Siege, where the game was absolute trash at launch, and how good the game got over time, because luckily people gave it a chance. But it's enough is enough when it comes to us buying games that are unfinished. That's pretty much exactly what would have happened here if Halo Infinite came out last month. So thank God that didn't happen. Okay. Now the other thing I'd like to talk about, Cyberpunk 2077 Fever has hit the internet, of course. We all knew this was going to happen this week. First of all, everyone telling me this morning, everyone's playing it, why aren't I? First of all, no, everyone is not playing it. It's complete false information. There are two groups of people who are playing the game today. The first group is people who received early review copies, who are only able to do text-based reviews up to now. They were not able to show video footage of the game at all until today. And the embargo lifted today, so those who already had review copies now can finally go out there and stream the game and play the game. Today is the day they're allowed to do that. All right? So you're probably seeing many popular streamers who got early review copies now playing the game because they have permission to do so. All right? The other group of people are people who just happened to get the game early through various methods. Some people who had ordered this game through retail actually got the game last week. I saw people posting up pictures on social media. Look, I got it super early. I can't play it yet because of the embargo. If I put up videos, you know, CD Projekt Red will give me copyright strikes. But when the embargo lifts, I'll play it. And that's what it is. People have been sitting on this game for like a week waiting to play it on the internet if they happen to get an early copy. Some people in my stream chat this morning told me that if you downloaded the digital version on Xbox Series X or X and you turned your time zone to New Zealand time on your console, it would say that it's the next day, and therefore the game would unlock and you could play it early too. All right? I'm not doing any of that. I'm doing just like what normal people like you are going to do. I'm going to buy the game when it releases on the PlayStation Network store, and I'm going to play it tomorrow, the day that it's supposed to be publicly available for all of you. All right? And some people already this morning on the stream chat, well, Phil, why didn't you get the early copy and this and that? I already explained a million times. I'll explain it one more time in a very short form. I don't believe in early review copies. I feel that this practice is incredibly, incredibly outdated. It was needed in the 1990s when people needed to put out print form media to review games early. But now we have the internet. We don't need early review copies anymore. The whole process of some elitist group of influencers and or mainstream games journalists getting early review copies and putting them out is incredibly outdated, and in some cases can even be harmful. And in the case of Cyberpunk 2077, this might actually be the case. And here's why. Here's why, my friends. In the case of Cyberpunk 2077, First of all, nobody was sent an early review copy on console. So no one who actually reviewed the game early actually knows what the game is like on console at all. And in fact, the game developer came out and said the consoles will have a large day one patch to improve performance, and the console version will be considered a different experience than the PC version that everyone has reviewed early. So it's potentially a much better game on console than what these reviewers actually reviewed on PC. That's number one. Number two, the PC version was unfinished. The version that everyone played here, all right, and reviewed, commonality among the reviews, there's a lot of bugs and everything. It's true, but the game isn't done. All right? Everyone knows that Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed a bajillion times. And from what we're to understand, it's because the game needed more polish. It had bugs. When the game actually is officially released tomorrow, all right, there's patches and things that are going to apply to the game that are supposed to make it run better. If someone reviewed the game 2 weeks ago, they didn't have that. So you're playing a version of the game that's not finished. You're playing it early, and you're reviewing it like that's the final copy of the game. It's not. In the digital age, the present day, playing these games early is not valid anymore. This isn't like, again, it's not the 1990s where the game's done, it's never going to change. You got a copy of the game a month early, you played through it, you did a print review early because there's no internet, right? So you need to get an actual print magazine review out there so people will know in Game Informer or Game Pro or EGM or PC Gamer, whatever it was back then, right? People need to know if the game's good early so they know if they go buy it on release day, right? Because there was no internet to share information about if a game is good when it releases. There's no YouTube, there's no Twitch. It was just you had to rely on these professional reviewers who were doing print reviews. It's not like that anymore, all right? The day a game releases, everyone's playing it, everyone's reviewing it, everyone gives you their ideas. You can watch a stream live of it to see someone play through it. You don't need early reviews anymore. They're completely fucking outdated, invalid, and really the reason that they exist is because there's an industry based off of it. The games journalism industry is based off of early shit. Elitism. The selected few who get to play things earlier than us because somehow they know better than us or they're smarter than us. You know, us, lifelong gamers, right? People who play games our whole lives, love games. These people who are journalists apparently are better judges than us, okay? And they get it early, and then they put out a review that a lot of the times, I hate to say it, is not responsible. They rush through a game, they don't play certain parts of a game, but they pretend like they did. They claim that certain content isn't valid. Well, they didn't even flesh it out because they had a deadline, so they had to rush to finish the fucking game. In this case, with Cyberpunk, the fact that they did not play the final version of the game is completely ridiculous. Absolutely, utterly ridiculous. All right? And it blows my mind. It does. It absolutely blows my mind that people still care about this. And then people still argue with me about it. Oh, no, Phil, it needs to exist because of this. No, it doesn't. Here's the truth of the matter. If people had self-responsibility and people had an iota of self-control, if you're on the fence about a game, let's say for Cyberpunk, you're not 100% sold on this game yet. You don't know if you want to get it yet. All right? Instead of relying on early reviews to judge whether or not you want to play this game and then rushing on release day and buying it based on the early reviews, how about you wait a day and you wait for actual people to play the game and then tell you what they think, right? Like right now, no one knows how this game is going to play on PS5 except for those who got the early copies through luck, okay? So those who are lucky enough that they got like Best Buy sent it to them early, they're playing the PS5 version right now. So maybe today you'll actually get some legitimate information or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But why did Phil not get an early review copy? Because I don't care. I don't ask for early review copies. All right? I have a 12-year legacy of content creation. I have a dedicated viewer base that believes my opinions on games are valid. They find my input very, very important and interesting. Why else would they be watching my gameplay content to begin with, right? And I know that if I felt like getting it, I could go through the hoops of talking to the PR departments of these games or the studios and registering my, you have to register as a content creator and all of that and show, here you see, here's my views and here's this and that. And I could jump through the hoops and be schmoozy with these guys and get early review copies. All right. You want to know how I know I could do it? Because I know people way smaller than me who can do it. They get review copies easily. These companies are happy to provide review copies to someone who's going to give exposure to a game. But there's two problems with that. The first is, I'm not going to kiss a game's ass. All right? I've never done that. I'm always honest. And these companies are very skeptical of someone getting an early copy and then slamming a game. Their impression, these game developing companies and these PR firms who handle this kind of stuff, their impression is kind of like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. All right? So if I'm going to go outside of my way to give you an early copy of the game, we expect that you are going to be good to that game. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, do they ever say, oh, you absolutely cannot say anything negative about our game? Not really. There have been some cases, though, where people had to sign non-disclosure agreements and couldn't actually say anything negative. I mean, the launch of these consoles recently, the Xbox Series S and X and the PS5, people actually had to sign non-disclosure agreements saying, I can't talk anything honestly about this console until a certain date. I can only give certain positive information about the console every day, which is really ridiculous how convoluted that whole process was. But I'm not like that. I'm a person, I'm playing a game, I'm going to tell you what I think. And the other thing is, again, with these non-disclosure agreements, imagine if I got Cyberpunk like 2 weeks early and I was told, you can't play it publicly until such and such a date. So then why'd I even get it? Because I'm a streamer. I'm not an early reviewer. I'm not a journalist. I'm a gamer like you. And I share my experiences with you guys on a daily basis live. That's the point of my content creation. So what's the point of me getting a copy of a game or a console early that I can't actually play on my fucking stream? Right? Sitting around with it, what's the point? Right? Maybe, okay, I would have been able to play Cyberpunk maybe a day early today. Big fucking deal. Right? For me, I'm so against the practice that I personally don't bother with any of that crap. I would rather, just like you, buy the game at full price when it comes out. That way, I actually feel a financial investment in said game. That is one of the things that I honestly feel in the modern day, okay, that I feel is a problem. Is that when you have an entire group of elitists who are either journalists or content creators, and they get everything for free, including the new game consoles, accessories for the game consoles, and all the games, they have zero investment. Zero. Okay? And since you have zero investment, when you go to review something, you may review it very differently than someone who actually had investment in it. I'm sorry. It's just true. If you're not paying for it like everyone else, if you don't have to wait to get it like everyone else, you may have a different take or a skewed take because you didn't actually sacrifice anything to get it. You see what I'm saying? It's just factual that this is the case. It's going to be very hard for someone who's getting everything free to then actually say, oh, this is a legit review because you didn't actually pay for anything. So if that game sucks ass, right, what did you lose? Nothing. Someone like us, and I say us because I feel like I'm the same as all of you, when we buy a game, that's an investment of our time and money. And if that game sucks, it hurts us in the pocketbook. It hurts us with the limited time that we have to do stuff, right? That fucking bullshit that these people just get everything for free and there's no actual risk reward for them. You see what I mean? Whenever we buy a game, there's a risk reward. A risk that when we buy that game, that there may be a great reward if it's good, but there also could be no reward. We paid money for a stinker, right? It's very different than what these people are doing. And that's why I don't believe this bullshit of the whole early review process. I think it should be abolished. I think that these game developers should say no one gets early games at all. Everyone can just play it on fucking day one when it's actually done, when all the patches are applied. And then you can all judge for yourselves. And guess what would happen? IGN, GameSpot, all these major media outlets that everyone seems to hate because they're either irresponsible or they have issues, they wouldn't go, I don't know if they would go away, but basically what would happen is the common content creator would actually be judged better because, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be about, oh, these elitists who got it early. and the golden selected content creators anymore. It would be about the common consensus of people who are playing the game. I feel that like things like Metacritic would be way more heavily weighed and balanced because it would be more valid. It's not, oh, well, the journos, right? The journalists put out a fucking Metacritic review 2 weeks before a gamer got to play the game. And now that's going to help skewing things. You see, I hate this. I just hate the whole process. And that's why when people come to my stream, oh, Phil, did you know everyone's playing the game today? I don't care. I'm telling you, I'm going through the same exact situation, all right, that you all are when it comes to playing these games, all right? I am. I'm going through the same exact situation of, you know, I'm going to play it on release day. I'm not going to rush it, you know. It's that simple. And I have no desire at all to reach out to any company and work with any company to get a game early or get a game for free. There's been very few times when I ever have when it has. It's usually a company reaching out to me and offering it, which is very different than me actually reaching out to them. Like, if you actually look in the history of time here, in the 12 years I've been a content creator, very few times has a company reached out to me. It was, well, last year we had the Mario and Sonic of the Olympic Games. I didn't ask for that. Someone actually reached out to me and said, do you want a copy for free to review? And I said, sure. I was actually planning on playing it anyway. And that was that. I actually got it early, and I did not play it early. I got a copy of the game early. I could have played it early if I wanted, and I didn't do so. I just waited till it actually was supposed to come out, and that's when I played it. By the way, the game stunk. And I said as much on my stream, and I never played it again. What was that stupid game? There was a game like 2 years ago that I played where it's like Attack on Titan, where you're attacking giant ogres and shit. I don't even remember what the fuck it was called. I got that game for free. Again, I didn't reach out and actively look for it. That was someone in the industry reached out to me and said, would you be interested in the games that I represent? And I said, sure, why not? It was one of the worst games I've ever played at the time. Of course, people always bring up a few games that are notable. For example, Fallout 4. Again, not a game that I was actively asking for anything. This is when I was still with Machinima, so this was many years ago. And at that time, Machinima, oddly enough, was trying to get free games for their content creators, which I didn't understand because they'd never done that before. And all of a sudden that year, Machinima contacted me and was like, oh, we could get you a free copy of this and this and this, right? And I was like, huh? Like, what? Why are you, out of nowhere, they offered to get a free copy. And they said that they might be able to get me a copy of Fallout 4. And I was like, well, Fallout 4 is one of my most anticipated games of the year. I mean, that'd be amazing if that could happen. And then it just happened. I got it. I was like, what the hell? Now, they ended up getting me an Xbox One version. I would have preferred PS4, but they got me an Xbox One version. But it was, like, pretty damn amazing to get it like that. I was like, what? Like, you know, how the hell did I get this game early when I never intended that to happen? You know what I mean? It was very odd. And I ended up being able to play it one day early because they had an embargo, much like today with... My mouse is malfunctioning. Much like today with Cyberpunk. They allowed people to play the game one day early if they had access to the game early for various reasons. So I ended up playing it one day early, which was really awesome too. And then the only other time that I can even think of in my 12-year history, all right, of being a content creator, that something like this happened, all right, was with Dark Souls 3. Now, this was an incredibly rare situation. That was an oddball situation. It never happened again. Okay? In the case of Dark Souls 3, this big leak thing happened. All right? So, Dark Souls 3 was a situation where the game was coming out in Japan before it was coming out in America. And it actually made no fucking sense that this was the case. And here's why. The game was done. And in fact, the game had the full English voice acting and everything. For some odd reason, they delayed the game in like America. Like it wasn't coming out for like over a month or something crazy like that after the release in Japan. It made no sense. Like they were purposely skewing it so the Japanese would be able to play the game first. Just for their own purposes, I guess. They thought that, oh, the Japanese deserve it better earlier or something. I don't know. Now, the thing is, Dark Souls 3 was one of the biggest games of the year for me. And at that point, I'm going to be honest with all of you. At that point, that was the point where everything was going bad for me. All right? Things were falling apart for me. Due to trolling activities. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember the year that Dark Souls 3 came out. Was it 2015? I'm trying to remember the exact year that this happened. But essentially what happened that year was that everything was going so badly for me. Oh, it was 2016, so this was the year after. It makes perfect sense then. Things were going badly for me. Remember, my YouTube channel was falling apart at the seams. Okay? Because my YouTube was my primary source of income. It was my major revenue back then. And because of the trolling shit that happened to me that year, or the year before, I should say, 2015, the false copyright strikes and everything, my viewership plummeted. The money I was making on DSPGaming plummeted. So I was desperate. I was like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to keep my house? How am I going to do all this stuff when I'm making way less money now than I used to? And the fact that people were basically finding a way to exploit Dark Souls 3. What they were doing is you could buy Dark Souls 3 on the Japanese Xbox store, okay? And you could download it to your console, and then if you just change the region or something, you could play it, the full English version on your Xbox One console early, as if you were in Japan, okay? Everyone was doing this. This wasn't a choice that I made to just do it. Oh, Phil's doing it and he's going to beat everyone. Every fucking person who was a content creator did this. They all said, oh, we're just going to do it and play the game early for cheap, views and shit. And at first I didn't want to do it, but I was in a bad situation, to be honest, just a bad situation where there was not much I could do because I needed to get those views. If I had played Dark Souls 3 a month later after everyone else had played it at launch, potentially I was going to miss out on a ton of views and a ton of revenue that I needed to keep my business afloat at that time. Again, before I was a full-time streamer, before crowdfunding was a thing, it was just ad revenue on videos is what I relied on. So actually having those videos come out a month later would have dramatically dipped the amount of money I would have made, and I would have basically been putting myself in a terrible position. So I went out of my way to try to figure out how to read the Japanese Xbox store and download this game and everything, and I ended up playing it early because of that. But outside of that and Fallout 4, like, those are the two major high-profile games that I played early or whatever. Outside of that, I can't even tell you any other major time when I've played any game of significance like that, okay? So the truth of the matter here is, in my 12 years as a content creator, even though I very well could have used my clout and my history as a content creator and the amount of viewers that I have and everything to get these games early, I refuse to do so. I feel I'm exactly the same as you, all right? And I don't deserve to get games early. I just don't, all right? I shouldn't be getting games before anyone. I'm not better than you. Why should I be able to play a game a month early and be, oh, I can't wait to tell you guys how great this game is in a month when the embargo lifts and shit. What? And the truth is, I don't want that anyway. As you guys know, I'm a content creator who I love sitting here and sharing fun gameplay experiences with all of you guys. All right? That's what I do. I would not benefit from getting a copy of a game super early and playing it offline to do an early review. Like, what's the point of that? There is none. In reality, there's no point to that. So, for me, I hate this practice. We're in a case now. We're in a perfect situation with Cyberpunk. The people who got the game early did not play the real game. Their reviews, quite frankly, are invalid. They did not play the version of the game that all of us are going to play this week. So, why did it have any merit? Why did it even happen, right? All that it did is it created confusion. It created all kinds of drama on the fucking internet. And now you got people who are playing it today instead of tomorrow. Why do they get to play it before us? It's bullshit. It's stupid. It's true. It's complete nonsense. This shouldn't be happening. We should have everyone gets it on launch day. Everyone, by the way, and I should say that worldwide launch of all games on one day. Not some people get it on Tuesday, some people get it on Friday. Everyone should play the game on the same day. Everyone should get it at the same time. Everyone should be able to judge it for themselves at the very same time. If you're a person who's on the fence about a game, use a tiny bit of self-control and intelligence. Don't rush out and believe the hype and buy the game. Wait a day for everyone to play it on launch day and then listen to what people have to say and judge from there. It's that simple. We don't need early release copies. absolutely zero value to it. It doesn't help anything in the industry. All it does is create an elitist group of people who are literally making a living being the elite. They've been selected to be the elite to get these games early. The only reason anyone is going to these fucking websites and listening to these content creators is because they get everything early. So because of that, you can judge on them if it's good or not. No. It's fucking elitist horse shit. And it leads to many, many situations where we get lots of problems with what happens. I'm not going to harp on this, but The Last of Us 2 was exactly the situation where you had an elitist group of journalists who reviewed it one way, while the vast majority of people who got their hands on it felt differently. And instead of having truth about that game out on the world, we have horseshit. Actual campaigns against criticism against the game. And it's like, this is what happens. If there were no early review copies sent out of The Last of Us 2 at all, zero, okay? And there wasn't insane internet hype built up, 10 out of 10, the best game ever. None of this would have happened. If everyone just got it on release day, you would have had mixed bag reviews on day one. Some people would have loved it and some people would have hated it, and it wouldn't have become the internet darling that it has become among game journalists. Instead, it would have been truth. And instead, we got a giant... If you want to blame something solely on this whole practice of early review copies, the situation this year with The Last of Us 2 is 100% a result of that. So if you need justification for why this shouldn't happen, here's your justification. All right? And that's why this shit needs to stop. Okay? Enough of this shit. So, no, I'm not playing Cyberpunk today. I don't care about playing Cyberpunk today. I don't want to hear about people playing Cyberpunk today because I don't give two fucks about people who are lucky or selected to be elitists, special golden streamers and content creators. I don't support it. I'm not going to be a part of that shit process. I'm going to do my thing. We're going to have fun with Yakuza. We're going to have fun with Twin Mirror. We're going to have fun today with games. Doesn't matter that I'm not playing the fucking game that everyone's talking about because I'll be playing it tomorrow. It's that simple. And then you get a dumb fuck like this idiot. Hey, he's mad about not getting an early copy. I just said I could have gotten one, you fucking idiot. I didn't bother. I don't care. You fucking brainless twit. How can you even take anything that I just said and spin it into that unless you're actually a fucking brain-melting moron? You can't. So, fuck off. Yikes, you're stupid. Alright. Anyway, folks, tomorrow is Cyberpunk Day, and I'm excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. Okay? Alright. Alright, everyone. Let us now do some shout-outs. So, first of all, I should refresh this because there may very well be shout-outs. Okay? And those shout-outs may... Oh, shit. Those shout-outs may be from yesterday when I wasn't here, and I want to refresh my screen to make sure that they're there. What the hell? Okay. So, yes, we do have some cheers from yesterday, so I'm glad that I refreshed here. We got Golden Colts did a couple cheers here. And he says, first of all, have you ever eaten a raw onion whole like biting into an apple? It helps you have a good cry and removes toxins from the body. Why the fuck would I do that? Just when I chop raw onions, my eyes go crazy. Watering up, and I can't, uncontrollable crying and burning in my eyes. Can you imagine what would happen if I fucking bit into a raw onion? I'd probably be dead. I'd probably be able to breathe. I'd have to go get a tube down my throat. So, no, I'm definitely not going to do that. Then he says there's a product called a One Chip Challenge. It's a spicy tortilla chip. You eat it and you see if you can endure it. It could be a laugh right for a marathon. No, I don't do that. When the fuck did I ever sit on stream eating hot sauce and shit? Like, what are you talking about? I am a video game streamer. What the hell are you talking about? Where do people get these ideas from? Golden Colts cheered again. He says, if these cheers, I hope these cheers will show up on Wednesday. Thanks for answering my dumbass questions. All right. Then Golden Colts cheered overnight. Excuse me, he resubbed overnight. 43 months. He says, no one believed I could do it. Then he cheered again this morning. He says, now that Cyberpunk is confirmed, a 0 out of 10 pile of dumpster garbage. What games are you looking forward to? Nothing's confirmed at all. That's why I said I'm looking forward to playing it myself tomorrow, making my own judgments, because I don't believe a single fucking review at this point. So, then Golden Colts shared a couple more times, so thank you, Golden Colts. I appreciate that. Okay, Dark Viking 159 subscribed for 41 months this morning. It said 41 months. Damn. Thank you, Dark Viking, for the ongoing support. Is much appreciated. Big Bad Buffoon did a 100-bit cheer and says, do you hear the news? Someone has stolen your KFC crown. They're making a sexual romance biopic starring Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders on Lifetime. Yeah, I saw it. It's a joke. You realize that, right? Like, it's supposed to be like a joke comedy. It's not serious. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just supposed to be something stupid for the memes online. It's a stunt. It's basically a stunt that they're pulling to try to get people to watch Lifetime. Because who the fuck watches Lifetime besides, like, you know... Alright, I'm not even going to say it. But anyway, yeah, Mario Lopez. He's playing... What it is he actually saw my Halloween special. He was so blown away by my performance playing Lil Hope that he said, I need to do that. And he immediately contacted Lifetime and said, we need to make a movie about Colonel Sanders right now. And I want that goddamn role. Okay? So there you go. That's what happens. The Ghost of Jay resubbed for 16 months. He says, I've been subbed for 16 months. Can you sub to my channel for that long? First of all, I didn't even know you have a channel. Second of all, no, if I sub to your channel for that long, I'd have to sub to everyone. You know what they say? Like, I hope you're broad enough for everyone. Like, I would basically have to sub to every channel on Twitch, and I just can't afford that. No, Ghost of Jay, I don't even know. Do you stream? You know, there are ways that I could promote and stuff and help if you stream and stuff. People have asked over the years to be hosted and stuff, but that's up to you. Anyway, thank you for the resub. Excuse me. Local Nomad did 100-bit cheers. He said, welcome back. Here's to another great week of streams. Thank you very much, Local Nomad. Carlton Jr. cheers. Has been exposed. GameStop. No, excuse me. It's been exposed. The GameSpot reviewer that gave Cyberpunk a 7 actually rushed through the game and ignored all side content, but then brushed it off as not being meaningful. Apparently, the side content affects your ending. Thoughts? I think this is irresponsible. So what you're saying is if you did the side content, you'll get a better ending, and this guy got a bad ending and then wondered why and complained about the game in his review. Right? I haven't played the game. I don't know. If this is concretely proven to be the truth, then, I mean, is this any surprise? I mean, I just talked about this for 20 minutes. That I feel these people are irresponsible. They don't do a good job anyway, so they shouldn't be getting the games early. Right? So, I can't make any judgments until I actually play the game myself. I don't know if the side content will be any good because I didn't play the game yet, right? As you guys know, when I play a game that has a lot of optional content, I judge for myself if I feel it's worth my time. In a game like Yakuza, typically those side missions are either hilarious or they are so meaningful. You know, sometimes you need to do them in order to, you need to, be able to, boy, let me try this again. I lost my train of thought. The side content in Yakuza 7 either is like a side story that's pretty quirky and interesting, or usually will give you extra experience and items and stuff that you need to progress in the game. It's meaningful content generally, okay? There's a lot of games that have these repetitive fetch quest shit that's boring as fuck. You know, so what is the side content of Cyberpunk? I have no idea. If I judge it to be meaningful, I'll do it. If it's like Spider-Man Miles Morales, where it's repetitive combat and grabbing items off of rooftops that doesn't mean shit, then I probably won't do it. You see? So it all depends. So again, Carlton Jr., you're asking me to make a judgment on something that there's no way I can answer in any capacity because I haven't played the game yet. All right? If it's true what you're saying, then yeah, shame on GameSpot's irresponsible reviewer. What a shock that a mainstream journalism outlet did an irresponsible review in 2020. I'm just so shocked. My jaw's dropping, hitting the floor. I'm so amazed that they would not take time to do a real review. I mean, oh my God. Wow. Grab the pitchforks, light up the torches, right? Like, we don't know this yet. Zyron36 did 100-bit cheers as the PC review copies were given a day 0 patch, which according to PC Gamer is probably the day 1 patch under a different name. See what I mean about this stupid shit? I don't care. I don't care. That sounds so stupid to me. So it's the same patch everyone's going to get, but they changed the name of it. Like, what? Then how can you confirm anything? Fuck this. This is just, it's bullshit. Well, here's what happened. Here's exactly what happened. All these media outlets played the game early and reviewed it and said it's a ton of bugs. Then the news dropped there's going to be a day one patch, so then they all scrambled to try to protect the fact that their reviews were invalid, and they started, oh, well, no, we had the patch, man. No, really, we had it. Fuck this. I don't care. I'll play it for myself. Annihilator UK is subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Annihilator UK, for the sub. I appreciate that. Well, guys, once again, here we go again. All right, first of all, guys, thank you for the support this morning. As you know, I forgot to mention, I was actually talking about other things I forgot to mention, guys. If you support the content that I put out, all right, you guys know that I am an independent. I don't have sponsorship from anyone, all right? Everything that I do is, you know, is 100% not being a shill for anyone. The reason I exist is because of crowdfunding, okay? So, if you like my content and you want to support it today, please, by all means, cheer with bits or subscribe to the channel or tip me. These are all ways that you can concretely help me when it comes to allowing me to continue to do what I love, right? And thank you for that, anyone who does. Know that contributions to my streams are not mandatory, nor are they expected, but they are greatly appreciated because this is why I'm able to do things the way that I do it, which in a lot of cases is very different from the way that everyone else does it, right? That's why I'm still here, because people like me for being me and not being everyone else. That being said, if you are going to contribute today, I do appreciate tips. They help a lot more. That's stuff I could put towards stuff today. I'm hoping to raise the funds to get Cyberpunk overnight and everything. Remember, we have rewards. If we raise $50 in tips today, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. For $100, you guys get to pick a vest. And we wore the camo vest on Monday night when we hit the tip skull. So that means today it would be any vest but the camo would be eligible. Okay, sorry that I forgot to do this spiel earlier. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I received a $100 tip, a $100.30 tip from someone named John Briscoe, and it says, keep the change. Here's the problem. I'm looking at this tip right now, all right? The good news is, it was not from an anonymous credit card. Thank God. It was not an anonymous credit card, all right? That's a good thing, because the anonymous credit cards are the major problems right now. People trying to send me fake tips with a credit card and then charging that shit back. That's a major problem, okay? But it is from an unverified PayPal account. So that means this person did actually create a full-on PayPal account and link their info, but they didn't, it's not verified. It means that they didn't actually go the extra step to verify it. But the good news is it's not the freaking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not the anonymous credit card shit. Okay? So that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm actually reading the detail. This is funny. It's so weird the way PayPal works. So because this was not an anonymous checkout thing, PayPal actually lists information here about it. And has all this information listed about how their processes work. And, you know, essentially, it's better that this person has a registered PayPal account, but it doesn't guarantee that it's legit. It could be someone somehow had access to this guy's PayPal account somehow and sent the tip in a fake way. You know, I don't know. The problem is, there's no one in the stream chat named John Briscoe. I don't know who this person is, you know? So, it makes me skeptical, you see? So, it sucks because I appreciate the tip. If this is legit, I really appreciate this. This is a ginormously generous tip, and it's a great way to start the week. I mean, this pays for Cyberpunk right now, right? At the same time, I apologize that I have to be so skeptical about everything. Because sadly, you know, there are people out there who've been doing very malicious things to me over the past 3 months at this point. And it's been dangerous to look at stuff like this and say, okay, it's good. And then next thing you know, there's a chargeback associated with it. The money's gone at a time when I need the money in my account. And then sometimes there's fees associated with shit depending on how a dispute goes and the like. So, you know, it's just it's confusing. So what I will say is this. All right? I don't think that I should say this is fake up front, only because it doesn't show any of the signs of the fake tips that I've received recently. Okay? So, it's that simple. I'm not seeing the same signs as the fake tips. At the same time, what I'll say to this, John Briscoe, if you were watching, and by the way, I have no idea if this is the guy's real name or not. It's just the name he used to tip me. What I'm recommending, and I'll recommend this to all of my viewers, all right? Please, if you are thinking of tipping me on a live stream, I'm going to ask you to go the extra mile. Please create a verified PayPal account. What does that entail? It basically means just linking your real info, your name, your address, your bank account, and then verifying that all that is legit. From when I did it, many years ago, I don't even know if this is the process anymore. When I did this a long time ago, the way it went about was you would give them like your bank account, and what they would do is they would send you a tiny deposit of like 2 cents or something crazy like that, and then you have to verify with them, yes, I received your 2-penny deposit, and then they would say, okay, that's the verification process, and then you're verified because you're a real person, a real bank account. You see what I mean? Verified accounts give me extra protection. All right. When there's a verified account involved, it means that the chances of any kind of fraud are incredibly lessened, because that's real info from a real person. And if someone tries to say, oh, well, that's not, I didn't mean to do that or whatever. It's like, well, wait a minute. It's your real name. It's your real address. It's your real bank account. Unless you're saying you have a 5-year-old child who somehow slipped into your office, jumped on Phil's stream, and knew your PayPal info and sent this tip, you don't have really a leg to stand on. You know what I mean? The anonymous credit card tips are ridiculous. There's like no protection for that shit at all. It's just like, oh, someone sent an anonymous tip, and if there's a chargeback, you're fucked, But that's what I mean. Like, with these verified accounts, it's much safer for me as a content creator, okay? So if you're someone who frequents my streams and is planning on contributing via tips, which I very much appreciate, please go the extra mile and please verify your account if you can, all right? I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it would help me tremendously. Look at the segment I have to do. I'm talking about this for 5 fucking minutes because this is the situation I'm in right now. $100 is a lot of money to accept and then have it be fake later. You know what I mean? So what I would say is thank you, John. Of course, I haven't heard from you. I don't know who you are. But this seems, like I said, this is not an anonymous checkout. So I'm going to ask, that this is real. Okay, boy, people are so dumb. Pointman TV. Doesn't that come with people's addresses? I don't get any info. Ladies and gentlemen, when you tip me, I get nothing. All right? I see a name. That's the name you chose when you tipped me. I don't even know if it's a legit name or not. All right? Sometimes I'll get an email address. Sometimes I won't. Okay? Sometimes it's nothing. You have zero info. Okay? If it's a credit card checkout, I get no information at all. It just says, like, if it's a Visa or MasterCard or whatever. That's all it says. I get no information. No name, no number, nothing. No, I've never, ever, in the history of making stream content, seen someone's address because they tipped me. That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. That info was protected by PayPal. They would get sued into oblivion if someone sent you the info every time that they sent you a payment. You can't do that. That does not happen. And no, you don't get someone's real name if there's a verified account. None of that. It's what the person chooses to disclose as their information when they send that payment is what I get. That's it. Why people have this insane notion that people are doxing themselves when they send a contribution to a streamer. No, that's because you're stupid and you're passing conspiracy theories around the internet to try to say a streamer can't get support. Fuck off. Stop spreading around misinformation. Okay? So, what I'm going to say is, at this point, I don't see any reason to not believe this tip is real. It might not be, but I'm going to say it is for now and count it for the stream. But what I will say is this, guys, we got to understand, this very well may be fake. I don't know who John is. All right, I'm just going to say John B. All right. And I'm going to say thank you very much to John B. If this is a real, and again, I apologize, giant fucking segment of my pre-stream dedicated to this because of it. All right. Please understand this could very well be fake. So if you were someone who was thinking of contributing today and I was like, it feels fine now, I don't have to contribute. It's not the case. This very well may be fake. It could be charged back right away. It could be charged back. You know what I mean? I almost never see a tip come through from an unverified PayPal account. Usually it's either a verified PayPal account or it's a anonymous credit card. It's one or the other. I almost never see it like this. Okay? So, I guess we'll count it. We already have a vest poll going in the stream chat. But please understand, if you were going to contribute, don't say, because this is what happens, sadly. Sometimes people will look and say, wow, Phil got a lot of tips today. That means he doesn't need any support today, right? And then guess what happens? It gets charged back and it means I made nothing. 0. And that's fucking shit, you know? So I hope this is real. And thank you to John. If this is real, I appreciate the support. I hope you like the content. I have no idea who you are, right? And it sucks that I can't give you a proper thank you or even say, I trust you. It sucks. I even had to talk about this on the fucking stream. It's shitty that I had to. Okay? But that's life, I guess, is that I kind of have to judge and say, what's the risk here, right? Now, I just received another tip, and this one supposedly is from Randy O. Butternut. The question is Randy O. Butternut even here today, and did they really send this tip? Randy, are you here today? And again, I'm sorry that I have to do it this way, I don't think Randy's here. I don't see Randy saying anything in the stream chat, right? All right, yep. Randy just confirmed it's fake, so there you go. At least Randy's here. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate you responding. So this is the problem, you see? So I get a $100 tip. Don't know if it's real or not, right? Talk about it for a while. Explain to my viewers, please get a verified account. So what does a person do? I'm going to send a fake tip right now just to fuck Phil over, right? Just in case that tip was real, let's send him a fake tip to fuck Phil over. What a nice person this person is, right? Unfucking believable. Well, thank you, Randy, for confirming that. I appreciate that. All right, we got more shout-outs. Drakenman resub for 6 months says, thanks to Django Pops for my sub gift. Yeah, I think you were saying he had originally gifted you the sub or whatever, and now you're continuing it. Awesome. Thank you for that. Drakenman, of course, thank you, Django Pops, for the original support. Lady Just Strike resub for 2 months. Thank you very much, Lady Just Strike, for 2 months of support. Appreciate that. Big Bad Buffoon did 100-bit cheers. Remember when you and John and Joe had a fatal 3-way? You played Scott Pilgrim co-op 10 years ago. The 10th anniversary Ultimate Edition of the game is releasing in January. Are you going to replay it and reminisce? No. Number one, I don't think Scott Pilgrim has been relevant in about a decade. Right? And number two, that was a co-op game, for couch co-op, and I don't do couch co-op anymore. So if you want to see the playthrough of the game, you can watch it from when it came out 10 years ago. I have no plans on replaying that game. Chimera Dog Cheery says the streamers playing Cyberpunk are not chosen elite. They email the publisher's PR department and ask for a copy. That's how they get free early copies. I just said that. What about... My God, you don't listen. Some people are deaf. I swear to God. Did you not hear my whole segment where I said, I know I could get a copy of the game. Here's what I would do. I would contact the PR department. I would explain who I am, the reach that I have, the fact that I'm a content creator for as long as I am, and blah, blah, blah. And that's how they get it. I literally just said that. I just fucking said that. Did I say that the publisher magically just sends out copies without any solicitation? No. That's the process you use to get it. That doesn't mean that just because they sent out a request for it, that they weren't selected to get it. There's a lot of people that request these games and don't get them. Okay? So there you go. Melody Zelda cheered 104 bits, which is the biggest cheer of the day. So do you think Twitch will be okay with you streaming Cyberpunk floppy penne in the game? Well, I'm playing the special streamer version that basically has no copywritten or licensed music and no nudity. So it will be fine. I'm doing it on purpose to purposely avoid any issues with this game on YouTube or Twitch. I just want to be able to play it and not get into trouble and not get fucking content ID matches and not get community strikes. I just want to play the fucking game. So that's what I'm doing. Bleach number 9 cheered. He says, Cyberpunk tomorrow. Don't give yourself a skin tag. You can go as big as you want. It's a video game. What? Well, I don't even know what that means, but thank you, Bleach. Ninstar Rune cheers. Says, Sung Kwan says, how is John's tip real but Randy's fake? John wasn't here to confirm if his was real or not. We got confirmation Randy's is fake. You understand that? Like, John is uncertain. We don't know if it's real or not. So we'll count it. Right? But you see what I'm saying? Like, if we had confirmation one's wrong or fake, don't count it. There's a difference between it's uncertainty versus certainty it's fake. That's how. Angelo Bestia, are you here today and did you tip me? I think you are, and I think you did. It seems legit, but I just want to verify before I give any kind of a shout out here, just in case this is not you, and then I don't want to misrepresent you. But I do believe that you did actually just tip me. Debunked DSP fan just cheered and said, coming over from YouTube, I missed the day's YouTube comment section was open. Can you turn comments back on? No! I turned the comments off for a very good fucking reason. Okay? A very good fucking reason. As in, the actual fans and viewers of the content demanded it. Because there was such toxicity in the comments, and I wasn't going to sit there actively policing these comments on a daily basis. So because of that, I was actually requested to just fucking, end it all. Turn it off, and I did. And because of that, we avoided any kinds of problems. Okay? And it's been years, by the way. Hasn't it been about 3 years now? I'm trying to remember, was it 2017 or 2018 when I turned off the YouTube comments, but it's an archive of the streams. It's that simple. It says these idiots want to misuse YouTube for malicious reasons, and I don't have a team of people to fucking moderate my comments. It just means there's no comments, and it doesn't affect anything in a negative way at all. It's a positive thing to make it so that they can't do their malicious shit in the comments. I'm not turning the comments back on. That would be insanely stupid. And by the way, Angelo Bestia did not confirm that this is their tip. In fact, I believe that they're not even here today. Therefore, that tip does not count. So there you go. It's another imposter, faker, piece of shit. Right? Pretty stupid. But it is what it is, I guess, right? Alright. Let's see here. I got confused. I'm in the wrong screen. So, let's see here. Hallelujah, he reigns. Just hit me $25, and this is legit. And he says the following. He is skeptical. Let me read his whole thing. He says, be very careful. That $100 tip from a John. It's easy for someone to make an old PayPal account. What? Oh, any old PayPal account. It's suspicious that no bank account is linked to it, especially if they tipped $100. Here's a real tip from a real verified account. Yes, thank you. Hallelujah, he reigns. Now, here's the thing. When you make a PayPal account, all right, but it's unverified, that doesn't mean that a bank account isn't linked to it. And in fact, I'm almost positive in this case there one is, because it didn't mention that it was paid by a credit card. Usually, if a tip is paid by any kind of a credit or debit card, it'll at least say that. It won't give you the info. It won't give you the card or anything. It'll just say, oh, this was a credit card transaction or something like that. This tip was not. This tip actually says it was from a PayPal account that is unverified, but it's registered. Okay? So, it is what it is. I guess all we could do is experiment, right? Keep in mind, this is all new to me. I didn't have to deal with this shit until recently, right? It wasn't until like 2-3 months ago that some malicious parties came in here with literal stolen credit card numbers, constantly putting in fake tips. So, this is all an experiment right now, okay? I would say, since I can't verify I can't confirm or deny if this is real, all right? I'm going to leave it for now, but let's use it as an experiment. Now it's been documented. I talked about it for how long today? We know the situation. So if this ends up getting charged back, we can use this as verification if this is fake or not, right? And if it does happen, now I would know, okay, don't really accept that kind of tip in the future because it seems like that's just as risky as the credit card shit, right? That's my take on it anyway. Because I don't know. This could be someone who's just a casual viewer. Wow, I really want to support Phil. They did it. And they're not going to chat. They don't want to maybe get into, you know what happens when people contribute and then they chat. People come after them. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Okay? So we'll see what happens. We'll use it as a test case. It's very rare. And like I said, it's very rare that this would happen. Usually, when a tip comes through, it's either going to be that anonymous credit card shit or it comes from a verified account. And almost never do I get unverified PayPal account payment. Like, it's very rare. So I guess we'll try to see here how it goes. Anyway, thank you, Hallelujah He Reigns, for the legit tip. That is very much appreciated because, you know, like I said, what if this $100 is completely fake? Then it's like having a stream with nothing. So thank you for that. Debunked DSP fan Cheerdy says, why is the number 3 person on the cheering leaderboard missing? Oh, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you because on my cheering leaderboard, everything shows. So I don't know what to tell you. There's no one missing on my cheering leaderboard. But I don't know what to tell you. All right? Okay. Oh, it was Rosalina Flower. Who knows? It could be many things. It could be that account was banned for some reason. That happens. It could be they decided to delete their account. It could be that because they've been a cheerer for the past few weeks that they've been harassed by my fucking trolls constantly, and they decided to, rather than to be continuously harassed, they would just delete that account. It could be a million things. Who knows, right? No way to tell. Hallelujah He Reigns tipped me another $1.30 and said, the fact that the regulars like Randy Butternut and Angelo Bestia are having fake tips done in their names now pretty close to when that $100 came in. Whoever's sending the fake tips is trying to confuse you. Maybe, but those other tips were done via the usual anonymous credit card checkout, which those are the ones that if you're going to do a fake tip, all right, that's how you do it because you're using a stolen credit card. So you're committing a felony every time you do this, by the way. You bought a stolen credit card number over the internet. That's a felony. You then purchase something with said stolen credit card. That's a felony. You know, these are all felonies. This person who did this is like could go to jail for a very, very long time, right? So, I guess we'll see. All right, we'll see what happens. Yes, Angelo Bestia, they did. They tipped in your name, and they tried to say something that could be pretty gross. That's why I really didn't know if it was you, and I was trying to verify. So, yeah, someone impersonated you today, if you can believe it. Pretty stupid, isn't it? Oh, brother. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we got through it. Now let's do quick shout-outs for the top cheerers of the week. Okay? Thank you to those who have cheered so far this week. I appreciate that very much. Excuse me. Man, yuck. Thank you for that. So, top cheers of the week so far. The week is young. Stinkin' Burrows is in 10th place. Ladies Man is in 9th. Local Nomad is in 8th. It's Sick It Piss is in 7th. Golden Colts is in 6th. Metalhead is in 5th. The Hated is in 4th. Or the Hated One is in 4th. Rosalina Flowers in 3rd. Rob on Wheels is in 2nd. And Sambuca is currently in 1st place. Thank you, guys. I just punched my microphone by accident. I was trying to grab my mouse, and I just, like, gave it a right hook. Okay. Thank you to those who did cheer so far this week. According to my leaderboard, there have been no gifted subs so far this week. Excuse me. So. Melody Zelda cheered. He said, it's funny to see Angry Joe streaming Cyberpunk with full-on nudity. The difference is he won't get mass reported by morons on the internet. You're right. He won't. So there'll be no issue with him doing that. With anything that I do that even toes the line of something that could be risky, I can't do. Because there's going to be mass reports from me playing Cyberpunk even when I don't have it. They'll still say I have it. Oh my God, did you see the nudity on Phil's stream? And they'll report the stream. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have streamer mode on. Right? But it's true. It's just like people get away with shit all the time because they don't have toxic idiots following them around the internet. You know, but I do, so it is what it is. Timbo says, should I play Cyberpunk when it unlocks at 6 p.m. on PC or wait until midnight. Why would you wait until midnight? Play it when it unlocks, right? Why on earth would you wait until midnight? If it unlocks on PC at 6 p.m., play it at 6. Okay. All right, guys, so that is it for the pre-stream. Let's end it. I take a break to use the bathroom. All right, and I'll be back. 3 new hours of fun Yakuza 7 gameplay right around the corner. And I hope to see you for that. I hope you're not going to ditch me now because the pre-stream's over. Okay. All right, I shall be back. Thank you, and see you in a few minutes.